I've been receiving a lot of comments on YouTube, and I can't necessarily address all of them either by new videos that are going to be coming up or just quick responses on YouTube. So what I wanted to do is put together some questions about maybe some upcoming videos that are coming on, clarifying a few things, and also just addressing just kind of random comments that I've received. Some of them really good. Some of them don't necessarily have to do with For the King, but these are all comments that I've received on For the King videos. Titan Cat asked me, have you done a solo one character run? Also, if you haven't, would you make a video on it? So first off, no, I did not at the time that you created this comment. I went through one solo run. It actually went pretty well to start, but then I ran into one big problem and it ended pretty fast for me. So I'm jotting down a bunch of notes. I am going to eventually make a video on it, but I want to go through a few runs first before I actually create a video on something that I haven't done before. So I definitely have some very good startup tips right now. For those of you who are getting into it and have never tried it before, this may be something that seems simple to understand, but you don't think about it while you're playing the game. Is it does not matter how many lives you have. So if you decide to play it on Apprentice, you don't really have 6 lives. The moment you die, it's over. So it's incredibly hard to play on, but I will definitely make a video on it. It's in the works right now. Okay, so these next two videos kind of go together. The first one, Sloppy Frobby. Love your videos. If you can make something about weapons, that would be amazing, because frankly, it's hard to tell when a weapon is good or straight up bad. Mario Rodriguez says, nice video. Do a video on classes or weapons next, please. In regards to the classes, that video should have already dropped by the time this video comes out. If you're watching this on Twitch, it should be out this week. In regards to weapons, I don't want to make this sound too overly complicated, but weapons is going to be in my next series of videos. With that being said, I am still trying to figure out how to properly talk about weapons. I have an idea of the direction I want to go with it, because the issue is there's just so many weapons in different categories and how it's broken down that I actually think that there is some more information that you need to know first. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I don't want to discount a video that I haven't even made yet, but I feel that the information that I'm going to put out in front of it is going to help you make a decision on what weapons you should choose depending on how you want to go about the game in the particular way that you're going about it. And going through each individual weapon is going to be very difficult to do without knowing how you're trying to go through the adventure. But I do plan on doing a weapons video. Okay, so for these next two comments, I had to put these comments in because they aren't necessarily For the King comments, but it's good to address these types of comments. So CB Boy says, recommendation, talk a little bit faster, use more transition or words to pop up on screen, but good content. And then XDD says, try to sound more enthusiastic. This is very boring to listen to. I would actually completely agree with that. I try and rewatch my videos to try to figure out where some of my weaknesses are. First off, to take this into consideration, I am both newer to content creation and to Twitch. And it isn't that necessarily that I am a boring person to listen to, but it's incredibly difficult to try to talk to yourself. So there's a reason why I'm trying to kind of create these videos on Twitch. It's number one, to be able to engage with the community on Twitch, but I'm doing that to literally no viewers. And on top of it too, I'm not a huge script writing individual because I just think it seems so robotic and boring. But what that also translates to is, since I'm doing this for the first time, it is going to be boring. And I expect that to be the case. But right now, my first video, 5 tips to stay alive, is right now at 10K views, which is absolutely amazing, especially for the size that I'm at. But what I want to do is look 2 years from now and actually go back on that video and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was the video that really got me started, because it's actually a really crappy video. And the reason why I say it like that is I hope that over time, my content is going to get better, it's going to get cleaner, it's going to get quicker, it's going to be more engaging, it's going to be more fun. But I do want to look at CB Boy's main point in his comment. And he said, but good content. That is the most important thing of my videos. If you get something from it, maybe a little bit boring, maybe you can throw some music on in the background. But with that being said, I would much rather you end up getting something out of my content than it being just like a really fun, energetic, just like pointless video. Look, I'm an old man. I'm not going to sit there and smash keyboards and make things pretty outlandish and like crazy fun or something like that. Not that I'm not trying to be fun, but what I'm trying to do is give you more informational type stuff while also having a good time with the people and kind of engaging. So if you want to engage with me a little bit, feel free to hop on Twitch, keep leaving comments. I'll make sure and try to talk with you guys as much as possible, and hopefully I do get better and a little more enthusiastic down the road. So David asks, so what you're saying is always have an herbalist on your team? Yes and no. And the reason why I say yes and no, the guides and tips that I like to give to you guys is really good general information about the game to try and make the best decisions that you possibly can in order to at least understand how the game is put together, so you can make really good decisions about how to build your team, how to select the correct weapons, how to select the correct armor, and such. And so I'm not done with all those guides yet. But I don't even play with the Herbalist every single time, even though I feel the Herbalist is the best hero. And here's the reason why. It's a video game. Have fun with it. Try different combinations. Look, this was a combination that popped in my head yesterday that I may even try. I may even create content on. Anyone out there who creates content themselves, steal this idea. Try 3 hobos. Why? It's the most versatile team. He's got 70 stats across the board. What you can do is no matter what weapon you get, no matter what armor you get, you can pretty much hold on to it and literally steer your entire team towards whatever items and equipment that you collect throughout the match. So yes, do I feel the Herbalist is the best team? To answer your question, yes, you should always have it on. But in order to enjoy a game, try different things. Have fun with it. It's a video game. You should never be set in any one particular way, no matter what one content creator or whatever is the meta tells you. It's not fun just to follow the meta. Try different things out. So this by far is my favorite comment to date that I have received, and this is by Eric. So this is off of the first series, second part, which is called The Rule of 90, and this is going over stats. The reason why I love this comment, number one, it corrected something that I had incorrect. So I had stated that ambush rolls off of speed, which is incorrect. It's actually awareness. This is the great thing about trying new things. So when I was doing my solo adventures, there was one thing that I noticed is that speed does impact evasion. As you have a larger base of evasion, speed actually increases your evasion even more. But with that being said, typically the awareness hero, which he correctly indicates, Hunter, Trapper, and Gladiator, are the ones that are impacted the most. So if you have a really, really low base evasion, speed almost has no impact on evasion. So it's very situational. So what's funny is he agrees with me the spot of where I had the stat, but he didn't agree with it from the standpoint of why I put it there. That's a great clarification. This is the type of stuff I want to engage with the community. This is perfect. Thank you, Eric. This is fantastic. Tara says, doesn't Party Heal give 90% of God's Beard's effectiveness to all party members based on the caster's pipe? So you basically get 270% of a God's Beard one party heal in exchange for using an attack. This is also another really good comment. So this has to deal with my first video called 5 Tips to Stay Alive. In fact, I've had some conversations with 2 other individuals outside of this that were also seeing a 25% reduction, so only a 75% effectiveness for the God's Beards when using Party Heal. Now, I reached out to the developers and I haven't heard back from them. Not sure if I'm ever going to hear back from them, but I at least tried to reach out to them to get some clarification on it. With that being said, my video states that when you upgrade the pipe to Bone Pipe, and then what you do is use Party Heal, you effectively are able to use 1 God's Beard, technically then turns into 9. That's a little off with this stat here. It's more of 2.7 times by 3, which ends up being 8.1. So this is a good comment to understand that you don't get max healing out of it. You only get 90%. This does not negate the power of that particular skill. This is something more that I probably should have said in my videos about the skills, about this particular skill, I should say, is that pretty much every other skill in an RNG has a level of percentage where you don't know if it's going to work or not. The reason why I feel Party Heal is the best out of all of them is that you can't block it. There's no roll to it. It happens every single time. So you know that when you use this particular skill, it always works. And that's why I still put it as the best skill in the game. Gabbles says, why is there an American flag at the back? I think simply put, I live in America and I am American. So I think that's probably the easiest way to put it, but I actually do want to explain there's a little bit more to it than that. Why do I have this flag right here? There's two main reasons why I do. I think a lot of us, especially my age and younger, do not value just how good we have it in this country. It is absolutely amazing to be living during this time, what our fathers and grandfathers have done before us. And I think we're losing sight of that. And I know this may seem a little bit serious just for responding to some comments, but I think what we have to really do as a society is realize that this country is a very good country, even though it's had its flaws at times. Because I know a lot of times what people do is they parse every single word that someone says. But I think if you have a general understanding of the world, how it used to be, what it is today, is that I am incredibly blessed to live in this country and to be given an opportunity to do anything that I would like to do. And we all have that opportunity. And it's kind of up to the individual to carve their own path, which is exactly what I'm doing on Twitch and YouTube right now. I just think a lot of us are just missing that point. But here's the second main point. It is a symbol to me thanking the veterans that have served this country. Again, I think my generation and younger do not recognize the sacrifice that so many people have made in this country. And if you look, my symbol right here, my grandfather was a World War II veteran. That is a Sherman tank. My grandfather was an amazing man. And I am so thankful for his service. And there are so many people among us that have served that you wouldn't even know of. And I think we need to thank those people. If I'm ever blessed enough to have this channel become popular at all, I would love to be able to do some charity events for Wounded Warrior Project. It means a lot to me. And that's what that symbol is. The symbol is to understand that this country is great. And we need to not lose sight of that. And two, thank you to all of our veterans from the bottom of my heart. That's what that flag means to me. Okay, so now on to one of the most interesting comments I have received. This particular individual is from Brazil. I cannot speak Spanish, and so I'm not even going to try and speak Spanish. But the mere fact that someone from another country was able to watch the video, said that the video was very good. I love it. I'm glad that they were able to get something out of it. I wish there was a way for me to make my content in a way that people from other countries would be able to understand. To be honest with you, since I'm newer to content creation, if there's a way to have your videos get translated into other languages, let me know. Leave that in the comments as well too. But thank you so much for this comment. This was really cool to see. It's reaching more people than just English speaking people. So thank you so much for the comment. This is great. And if there's a way that I can turn something on to where it's easier to listen to, where there's some type of translator, let me know and I'd be more than happy to do so. Okay, so I kind of lumped these two together, Aiden Neil and Muffin Man. Aiden starts off with tips for the final boss. I'm going to address that question last, but then it's also, can you make a video on best way to get XP and gold? I also have a hard time balancing getting XP, gold, and loot versus going through the main story. My main way of getting XP and gold is simple. Remove chaos as much as possible, because that gives you the most flexibility to do whatever you want to do within the game without feeling like you need to rush. I never get the gold side quests. I never get the item side quests. I feel that I can get more gold and XP and the items I need by staying in a particular area, by removing chaos, than putting certain items on that I would not be sacrificing really, really good skills or damage output from weapons in order to get more XP and gold. That's what I recommend you do. And for the last question, tips for the final boss. I know I created a walkthrough video. I have thought a lot about what type of content to be creating for this game and others. And I'm not saying I'm never going to do this, but I likely will not create a tips for the final boss. And this has to do more with a philosophy, is that I think it takes the fun out of a game when I pretty much tell you what you need to have in order to beat it. Like, for instance, and I'm not saying that this is the case, let's say you want to be immune to fire when you go and play the final boss, and you want to equip this, and that. I don't like doing that because it kind of takes away the fun of it. In fact, I hate a lot of the immunity equipment because I actually don't use them purposely, just because I know what I'm going to be facing. If I'm just blocking everything that they're doing because I've already played the game before, I actually think it takes the fun out of it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to answer this question. I'm not going to give you tips for the final boss. I probably should not even have created the walkthrough video, but I was just trying to create some content at the time and learning some things. You could watch it, and you could probably find out what you gain from that, and that'll give you your own tips. But I probably will never create a video that gives you specific tips on how to beat something, because I think it takes the fun out of the game. All right, so that is it for the comments. I appreciate all of you on YouTube who have subscribed, liked, and have definitely commented. I enjoy the comments more than anything else. Appreciate it. We'll see if I do this in the future. If I get a lot of good feedback from it, I definitely will do it again. If this was just a terrible video, then I probably wouldn't do it again. But anyways, appreciate the time, guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video.